Hey traders, Park again with another indicator. Today I've been introducing you to the fractal pivot in supply and demand zone indicator. I really got into the supply and demand zone thing, the strategy that everybody was talking about. Well, a lot of traders were talking about, and I thought about it, and I watched a couple videos on it. But when they would come to draw the supply and demand zones, they would basically this would be a demand zone, and it'll be a turn in the actual stock, and you would wait for that stock to return to that level, and you would buy from there. Same situation right here. This would be another demand zone. This would be a zone of supply, and I'm drawing it from the max candle to the wick and just over to see how everything worked out. And this top one would be another one, and you'll draw it to the max of that red candle. And I thought about that, and then I started. I was wondering about an indicator. I was wondering about whether it actually worked or not. And as you can see, it kind of does work. And if you extend those out, it may follow through on this chart for the next day. But normally you wouldn't do it on these smaller time frames. You would actually do it on a higher time frame. So you would actually come out to the daily chart and draw them from there. It looks kind of weird right now because I have the VWAP on it, and the VWAP is set for the day. So we'll just clear the drawings out and come out to the day. And this would be a supply zone. This right here would be another supply zone. This was a demand zone, and then it got broken out. So that's basically what I was studying, and we'll come back to the chart. And that's basically what you're looking at from here. You can see right there into the supply zone, got knocked back down, sold back down, came back into it, sold back down. So I saw a video on an indicator for MetaTrader 4, and this is the video I saw, and I was grappling with it probably about 2 weeks trying to figure out how did he get the indicator to work like that. I'm gonna shut up for a minute and let you watch the indicator for MetaTrader 4 work. Thinkorswim is not this fast. But you can see as it comes into those areas of supply, it pivots down. While I was watching the video, and then I went to the description, actually went to MetaTrader, where the website where the indicator is, and he said he was just using the Fractal Disruption by Williams. Fractals chaos theory. If you get a chance, just check that out, and that'll give you some more information behind the strategy and how to use it. But as you can see, it's drawn those areas of demand, 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 demand. And you can see as this candle came back through and found this area of demand, and it popped up from there. Same situation with here as well. And that's basically what the indicator does. And I saw another video, this video as well, for the Thinkorswim. So I'm going to speed it up to where the actual indicator is on here. I tried to have all this stuff ready before I did the video. Well, I apologize. But this was hers, and you can find hers on Etsy. Looks like a lot of coding. And what I don't like about hers is once these areas are broken, they don't go away. So they're just on the chart, and for me, that just leaves the chart messy and leaves me not seeing the signals that I need to see from the candles. And a lot of times I look for the different candlestick patterns, and I'll be paying way too much attention to what's on this chart, especially with those lines. But This is her version of the Thinkorswim. I mean, of the supply and demand zone, and it's based off the same information of the pivots, fractal pivots, and chaos theory by Williams. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the study on here. I'm gonna let me get rid of those boxes now. Here we go. And this is what my study version of supply and demand zone indicator looks like. The initial supply zones would be bright red. The past ones would be light red, and the same situation with the initial demand zones would be green. The past ones would be light green. And let me cut this on, and we can watch it work. I don't mean for the video to be long, but Thinkorswim is on demand feature is just real slow. But it found this area of this is a past area of supply, and it found it. Same situation here, and down here as well found more supply, and that's why you got the stock. It was basically in the downtrend. So you would get 10 boxes of supply, and you would get 10 boxes of demand. And with the supply zones, I would actually come out here because they're going to go away because they're going to be making new supply zones. I would actually just go ahead and just draw like that. And as each one of these zones are broken, the actual box will just go away. The as each yeah as the supplies, I mean, as the demand zones are broken, they're gonna go away as well. But once price gets back over it, it'll come back, and that's basically going back to the theory of old support becomes new resistance, and new resistance becomes old resistance becomes new support. The original study was one by Mobius, but I took it and I created the supply to zone or the fractal pivots, true fractal pivot study. And let's see what happens once this candle come back into this area of supply that the indicator found beforehand. Paused and came back down. And now we're expecting this primary area to be support. And we're looking for a bounce there or possibly a bounce here with this area, past area of demand. So I'm gonna go and fast forward because Thinkorswim on demand is probably gonna be too slow, and it ran up just as I pressed the button. And now we're expecting this area to. You see how the box went away because the candle broke it, and now it should be work as an area of support. And we're gonna fast forward it. And let me change this time frame so it won't keep going all the way out like that. Found another area of resistance, came back down, and we're looking for this to be a new support. I did have before where it would change, the box would be continuously going and it would change color to green. But like I said, that gets in the way of price, and you'll be paying way too much attention to it. At least for me, I would be paying way too much attention to it. And I really like a clean chart. And as you can see, price came back down here into this area, old area of resistance. But This bottom part of resistance held their support, but now it needs to break back out of this area of resistance or supply. But I'm going off the supply and as support and resistance. So we're gonna push it forward. And that's exactly what happened. And it created another area of demand. Demand came in there, and let me put on the volume so we can see that. And as you can see, it was a lot of volume that came in. Not necessarily on this candle, but you can say this was stopping volume, especially with this long wick here. That people were coming in and buying it. There's the break of that resistance. As you can see, the box stopped right there. But if it doesn't stay above that, then it's going to come back down. The box will come back. You also get these trend lines. And when I was reading Ann Coulin's book, volume price analysis, she talked about connecting those pivots. And that's exactly what this study does. And just like I showed you earlier with the ones I found on a daily chart, this works on all time frames. So just like the one I drew out there, it's right here. This is the same one, the one I had drawn before. And it found these previous areas of resistance, and this stock, that's why it's struggling right here. Got above it, and it's struggling, and it's working its way up. Like I said, it works on all time frames. So we can go to every time frame and kind of ink out where support and resistance could be. And right now we're saying this is going to be resistance, but it came up from this area of demand. So let's push it back to the 3-day, 5-minute. And I always have to push it back down to that 1 day. And you can use on the 1 minute chart. You're gonna get a lot more signals, but like I said, it works just as good on the 1 minute chart as it does on a 5-minute chart or a daily chart. And there you go. Like these boxes right here, they're past areas of support, and as long as the candle is above it, they continue to print. But if the candle breaks through it, it would no longer print. The same way with the resistance box, with the supply zones up here. And we're going to push through. And we want to see something go back to the one of these zones and bounce off of it. New area of resistance. You got this new area of resistance right here. These are your previous. This is your new area of demand. And looks like a triangle or a flag pattern had developed based off the trend lines. And it fell out from there, from this area of demand, new area of demand, possible demand. And really using this, you really want to look at volume. It wasn't a lot of volume when that demand candle was made. And this is the 1 minute. So all those signals on 1 minute, I usually push up to a higher time frame or use this on a higher time frame. But you can also see right there where it found support, a demand from this previous area way back here. So let's push it back to this 5-minute 1 day. And it came right back to this area of demand that it had previously found. And it's highlighting again that area of resistance, a possible resistance. and once it breaks back out. So let's keep pushing it forward. And as you can see, that candle popped off of that one. And let me do this today only, so we're not seeing anything from the previous day. I hate it when that chart bounces and zooms out of it. So we're gonna fast forward it. And it's coming up against this trend line of downward pressure and this area of supply, and it needs to break through this area of supply coming from this candle as well. I actually traded this back in October 20. Not this, yeah, I did trade this day, but I lost money on this day. I didn't have this indicator either, but I made it about $500, $600 the next day because it created a bullish engulfing candle on the daily. So I expected it Monday to run up, and it did. And I got out too early. I got in at 5 and sold around 7, and it went right back down to about 6:30 or maybe in the high fives. And went, I believe it ran up to 12. Then day after this, and it breached through, broke through both of those, and now it's dealing with that zone up here from yesterday. Like I said, I wish I could push mine like that guy's MetaTrader video pushed, but I'm having to press the button on Thinkorswim on demand. But I hope at this point you're getting the gist of the indicator. But it's supply and demand zones. True, I call mine the true fractal pivots, supply and demand zones, and it's based off the fractals chaos theory. If you get a chance, check it out. And I'll link some videos in the description as well to help you understand it better. I know I'm not explaining it the best. So we're going to push it. And I'm going to go ahead and push it to 12 o'clock. And this video is getting too long. And as you can see, it pushed all the way through. It pushed through these supply zones. Initially, it came back down, created another demand zone, and another demand zone from a previous candle. That's why you got the two. It's layered twice. And came back down, created another demand zone, and you're just waiting to ride it up. So I'm gonna push it to 1 o'clock. I'm gonna let this play out just a little bit. Came back to that, create another area of supply, and this is the previous supply. Another area of demand, and this is a previous area of demand. And it's struggling to break above this area of supply right here. And this area probably was the area of demand for one of these previous previous area probably right here. And it just came back because once the candle dropped below it, now it should act as resistance, as long with this area of resistance that the indicator found. And you got another flag pattern or another triangle. Broke above it finally. Strong volume broke above it. There we go. And those of you familiar with my old indicator, the air cooling lower study, I'm going to do a video on the new one I created, and I believe you'll find this very helpful as well. And let me get rid of the volume now and just have my version showing. And basically, this is it's called a VSA, but it's volume spread analysis. And basically, the spread is between the close and the open of the candle. And that's basically what this does. And it gives you signals based off of that and Cooling's irregular bodies as well. And you can look at any of those areas where it broke uh, resistance or it came down and made a pivot to demand. You can see it's high volume. And on here, I gave you 21 days. It's roughly 253 days of trading in a year. So you divide that by 12, you get 21.8 something. So on mine, I give you an average of the volume average is 21 days, and the percentage of today's volume of that 21 day. And this is high. This is the day's volume here, 67 million versus the 21-day average of 11 million. And this would be a great candidate for for volatility. And this will change color to green if it's above it and the day is a positive day, a green candle. Same situation here with the 10-day average, 22 million. It's way. This is the percentages way above that as well. 290% of the volume being traded is 292% of the 10-day average. And this is your day volume. This is all the volume in this one day. And this is the percentage of the average day volume. It's 345% of that. And this is your current volume, and this is your current volume average. And the candles will change color according to their volume levels. And what this thing actually has, what I built into it that makes it change color now, is of course the Ann Cool's volume price analysis. According to her book, also I found above average volume, high, uh, ultra high volume as well in this as well. And you'll get the three colors. You'll get this dark green color for below average. You get this ugly brown color for way below average volume. You'll get the bright green for ultra high volume, and you'll get the light green for above average volume. Same situation with the red candles. You'll get the dark candles for below average. You get this little brick color candle for way below average candle. Yeah, way below is average trading volume, and this orange candle is high volume, and the bright red is ultra high volume. And that's what you got right here. It created this supply zone, and it ensured it with the ultra high volume. And it shows you it's ultra high volume. And where I'm gonna push it to the day where, like I said, I made my money on this Monday. And this is where I got in. I got in down here at $5. So I'm gonna push it back to the. This is the end of the video. I'm gonna push it to about 8:45. And those are those previous areas of supply demand just creeping up as long as along with the chart and the candles to show you if it comes down, it possibly could come down to those areas. And like I said, I got in when it dropped. I got in at $5 when it came back up, and that's exactly when it broke this this area of supply. But if it would have dropped, my risk would have been 461. But this is the end of the video. I didn't mean for it to be this long, but the lower indicator is the volume spread analysis, and this upper indicator is the true fractal pivots, supply and demand zones. If you're interested in the indicator, look in the description. And like I said, I'm going to leave some other videos to more information on the fractal pivot supply uh, strategy. And if you like this video, leave me a like. If you didn't like it, leave me some feedback or comments. And if you want the indicators, look in the description. And I appreciate everybody who's been supporting the channel. Everybody who's been supporting me on Etsy. I appreciate it. Y'all have a great day and Merry Christmas.